Kia ora.
Kia ora. Peter Parauni.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, tēnā hoki tātou i te hare. E tūwahi poto tēnei, i te tautoko ngā mihi I mihi ngia, koutou ngā kai kōrero I tuake mui au, ki wa tātou manuhiri mai I Rangitāne o Manawatu. Nā reira koutou ngā kai kawe o tēnei kaupapa, tēnā koutou. Tēnā hoki koutou I ngā tini mate I wainganui a koutou, kei te tūhonohono ki tēnō ngā mate ke wainganui a mātou I roto ta wharene. Engari I tēnei wā e tikana kei mihi kauana ki tēnā o ngā kai kawe o tēnei kaupapa, kare rātou I wainganui a tātou I te rānei. Aha koa mohena I a tātou kei kone rātou I roto te wairuatanga. Nā reira e tikana ke mihi kauna ki a rātou. Nā reira, ko ea te wāhi mā rātou, ka hoki mai ki a tātou I te hunga ora, a tēnā koutou, kia ora mai no tātou. Mr. Speaker, I stand on behalf of New Zealand First to support this bill and to recognise that this bill, by way of the Crown acknowledging unfortunate episodes in our country's history, to try and rectify the situation by way of redress as is articulated in the bill. As the previous speaker alluded to, this bill was referred to the Maori Affairs Select Committee, and the committee recommended the bill pass with some amendments, which include some resulting from surveys of the redress sites, and these amendments would update the legal descriptions of a number of land provisions. Mr. Speaker, we received 9 submissions, and as previously alluded to, not all of the submitters supported the passing of the bill. And that was some of the issues that the committee had to consider before making its recommendation back to this House. And like all settlements, they don't please everyone. But the attempt has been made to try and offer redress for the actions of the Crown, and that have, in this case, left Rangitāne or Manawatu almost landless. And this bill is intended to protect what land they have left and to ensure that the land that has been offered in this bill helps to secure the long-term future of this iwi. Mr. Speaker, the bill was first introduced in December last year, referred to the Maori Affairs Committee in March of this year, and we reported back to this House at the beginning of this month. And while the physical journey may be regarded as a long one, but in terms of the processes of this House, I think has been fairly quick compared to other settlement bills. And so I want to acknowledge this House for at least giving some urgency to this claim. Mr. Speaker, previous to this bill being presented in the House, some comments were made, and I just want to quote some of the words that were articulated in earlier readings of this bill. The people of Rangitāne or Manawatu were subjected to legislative prejudice which made their land more susceptible to partition, fragmentation, and alienation. This was enacted in the hope that Māori would abandon their tribal and communal structures of traditional land holdings. And goes further to say that by the end of 1880, Rangitāne or Manawatu held about 20,000 acres of land. 50 years later, this iwi's land holdings had reduced to 2,903 acres. So you can see, Mr. Speaker, why this particular bill is very important to the long-term future, particularly the economic future of Rangitāne or Manawatu. Mr. Speaker, when this bill is enacted, it will give effect to the deeds of settlement signed between Rangitāne or Manawatu and the Crown, which they did in November last year, which again signals the rapid progress of this bill through the parliamentary process to today. And again, I think that is a reflection on the commitment made by those people who are responsible for this bill, and also for the work that the Maori Affairs Select Committee played in ensuring that this bill got to this stage. In just closing, Mr. Speaker, I heard the Minister make reference to the lady who has led this charge, Danielle Harris, and everyone's been talking about their whakapapa. Well, I just want to remind this House, and I might have to remind Danielle as well, that she has connections to the north, very strong connections to the north. And perhaps, Danielle, we may need to have you come home and help us with our particular settlement process. But be that as may, I just make reference to Danielle because I worked with her grandmother, her maternal grandmother, and I will never forget that lady, because she was one of my early mentors when I started with the Maori Affairs Department in Auckland. So ever since then, Danielle spent some time working in the Office of the Maori Trustee when I was working there, so I have a lot of regard for her. And can I say, Danielle, that I do feel sorry for you. Sorry in the fact that it doesn't matter how much you may have worked to get the settlement to this stage, there'll always be people within your iwi that will criticize you and not thank you for the work that you have done. Hei aha, wena te ahuatanga o tātou te ao Māori. Nā reira, e te tuhine, koutou ngā kaitautoko I aia, koutou I hāpai hia tēnei kapo, ki mau mai ki kone I roto te whare nei, ngā mihi o ki a koutou. Nā reira, Mr. Speaker, I just want to conclude by saying that I commend this bill to the House.
Kia ora.